Hello all, thank you very much for having a little look at my video. Yes, yet another video on the Camino. My name's Terry Wilson. I live in New Zealand, way down the bottom of the world. You go any further, you start talking to penguins. So I walked it in 2017 on my own for myself. Wonderful experience, changed my life. If you've got problems that you think you can walk out on the Camino, yes you can. You can do it, but walk on your own. Take somebody else, it's too distracting. So that was 2017. 2018 I was invited to walk with the film Camino Skie. Totally different experience, but a nice experience as well. Very demanding though. You've got cameras here, cameras there, microphones everywhere else. So, you know, not quite the way to do it, but another experience. 2018 saw me back there with my eldest daughter. She had said, "Dad, I want to walk the Camino." I said, "Well, away you go," because walking on your own is the way to do it. But she was a bit hesitant, so I said, "Right, well, I'm going back, you're coming?" And she said, "Yep, let's go." So the books I've written on it, behind me, there's always a catch. I'm selling the book. This one, God's Cocaine, The Addiction of the Camino, I wrote about 15 months ago. Now, I've unpublished this book. It's sold about 300 or 400 copies, so I'm making sure that people that are going to look at my new book is the same as this book. But because I wanted to republish the book, I had to call it, have a different title, and I had to redesign it. So that's what we've got this time, a Camino Addiction. So I'm just making sure that people understand. I don't want people buying this book and then saying, "Hey, it's the same as the last book. What are you on about?" So that's it. And inside are some colour plates. That's probably the most iconic photo of the Camino, a long gravel road. So for a New Zealander or an Australian, how do you get there? Well, my advice is fly into Paris, go to the railway station Montparnasse, catch the train to Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, and that stops at Bayonnaise. Sorry about my French. And a little alpine train takes you into Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. Then you start walking and walking and walking. Is it hard? Yes, it's real hard. Can you do it? Yes, you can. I hadn't walked to the letterbox when I started training 12 months before to walk the Camino. And when I got there, I was terrified. I didn't know whether I'd done enough training, whatever. I elected to do the first day over the top, which is Route Napoleon. And you'll find out about that watching other sites. It's a 1250 metre climb over 20 k's and down the other side by 5 k's to a abbey, a monastery called Roncesvalles. At Roncesvalles they took one look at me and said, "You sit down." And they saw that I was close to collapse, but many other people were as well. It was 33 degrees that day, and they went past my bunk and had a look just to think, "Oh yeah, he's still breathing," 3 times in an hour. When I got downstairs a couple of hours later, having recovered a little, I sort of caught the guy's eye and I said, "You keeping an eye on me?" He said, "Yes, we have people that die that look better than you." So that was my first day of the Camino. But can you do it? Yes, you can. Is it hard? Yes, it is. In promoting the film around New Zealand, I was asked often, "How hard is it?" And I would tell people, if you do all the training in the world, you'll hurt for about 5-7 days, and then you'll come right. You'll turn into a walking machine. If you don't do any training at all, you'll hurt for about 5 to 7 days. and then you'll come right. It didn't seem to make much difference. I met people that hadn't done much training at all, and they were hurting. I'd seen professional hikers that said, wow, this is hard. Yes, there is a cafe on the average of every 5Ks where you can sit down. I think that's what saves you, frankly. But it is still hard. There are many, many climbs that take you 900 metres, 1,000 metres, 600 metres. Most days have a climb in it. It's like walking a half marathon every day for 33 to 35 days. So, do you want to do it? Of course you want to do it. Go and do it. There's 300,000 people were doing it over about 4 different ways of the Camino. The Camino is also called the Way of St. James, and the Francais, which is the one I walk, which is the most popular one, is the Way of St. James. I was told by a Catholic priest, I'm Catholic, make no bones about that, I'm not going to push God that thing on you, but it's important to the story. And I was told by a priest to read St. James, and I never did. About 5 years went past, and then I happened to see the film, the most iconic film I think we all know, The Way. By the time I'd seen that film, I was in tears. And I said, Terry, you were too damn lazy to read St. James, now you're going to walk it. And I did. And so I just started walking. It's not hard, but it is in a way. So things in this book that I've talked about are all true. My humour is pretty edgy. I like a good laugh, and I see a laugh in just about everything. But there's quite a bit of serious stuff there. I had a couple of experiences on the spiritual side which I think were very, very meaningful. So if you want the book, have a look on Kindle or one of those online places. It is available for sale in a printed version, as you can see, in New Zealand. But when you're in New Zealand, getting things posted to the rest of the world can cost a fortune. So that's why I printed locally for the local market. But it is available on Kindle, Amazon, many other places. So if you want to pick the book up, have a look at it. You'll find it's not strictly a guidebook. It's not like this sort of thing, where you go here, you walk there, what the food's like, none of that. But you will find something very special in it. Well, I feel that I put something very special in it. I've had some good reviews, and people have said that I can make them laugh and cry in the same page. Well, I don't know about that. That's up to you as to whether you see it that way. But anyway, have faith in the future. Have a go. Maybe 2022, 2023, we might be able to walk again. I'm not saying actually you can't walk now. There are people walking it now. But I've seen pictures on our burgers, which are hostels, dormitory hostels, with half the bunks, every second bunk roped off. I mean, that's no way to walk it. It's all about camaraderie. And it would be, I'm going to wait until things are back to what we think might be normal, if that ever happens. But anyway, thank you for watching. Have a look at my book. God bless you.